Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Just Like You show. I am your host, Alexis Christine, and I am a spiritual mindset coach and Reiki master, helping women break through their limiting beliefs, rewire their brain, and manifest the life of their dreams. Just Like You is a podcast for all of the divine souls looking for guidance on their healing and ascension journey. We explore the depths of the universe, hold space for vulnerable conversations about spirituality and self-development, delve into the esoteric things like how to manifest, star seeds, the astral realm, and shed light on taboo topics such as plant medicine and so much more. I am honored that you are here to take this journey with me. I want everyone listening to be able to leave each episode feeling inspired and having learned something tangible to take away into their day-to-day life. If you feel called to work with me or explore this work deeper, please reach out at imalexischristine.com or you can DM me on Instagram at iam.alexischristine. Hello, everyone. Welcome, my divine souls, back to Just Like You. I'm so excited for today's episode. I know I say that every time, but it's because I truly am so excited. And today I have a friend on named Chris, and this episode's going to be a little bit of a different one. And it's really just to show you how amazing life can unfold for you in the most unexpected ways when you choose to actually let go, take chances, do the things that scare you, and just surrender to the universe. So it's a story time episode. It's definitely a longer one, as I'm sure you've already noticed. And Chris really just takes us through his entire journey from being a kid, growing up, and becoming a professional rugby player. So what that whole process looks like, because there are so many twists and turns and ups and downs, and just it's insane, to now being retired and finding fulfillment in a job he's doing now, which he literally never thought would ever happen. The job was just so unexpected. And he also shares some tidbits about Samoan and, I'm going to say this so wrong, Maori culture. He keeps trying to teach me how to say it, and for some reason I can never get the accent right. So I'm so sorry if I butchered it. But just some cultural learnings from there that completely warm my heart. And I'm so excited for you guys to hear them. I don't know. I just so deeply connect with them. It's the most beautiful thing. And just a very quick trigger warning. We do talk about suicide in this episode because someone in his life did follow that path. So if that is something that is not okay for you to be listening to, just a quick warning. That happens at some point in the episode. I'm not quite sure of the exact time mark, but it's when he starts talking about his dad. So just a heads up. I'm so excited for you guys to listen to this episode and just really learn through it as I have, just listening to him and having this conversation and learning so much. And again, if you guys are enjoying the podcast and like the episode, please leave us a review. Please share it on your socials or with anyone who you think might enjoy listening to it. And I hope you guys have an amazing time listening to the episode. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Just Like You show. I am your host, Alexis Christine, and today I have my amazing friend with me, Chris, who is an ex-rugby union player, super well-traveled, and is now living and residing in the eastern suburbs of Sydney, and he is a student support learning officer at a high school. So, Chris, welcome. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm very good, actually. So, my name is Chris. For those that don't know me, um, I'm born and raised in West Auckland.
Okay, so everyone, for those who don't know, Chris and I actually met in the beginning of 2021, I think it was, because you were stranded literally in London during the pandemic and you could not get back to New Zealand,
Yes, that is
right?
correct. That is right.
Yeah. And what, you came over
Yes,
for a tournament, a rugby tournament?
yes, I came over to play for this team, the World Barbarians, and
Mm.
I came over in October, I think, and then I went to Bermuda for 2 weeks, and then on my way back home, I was like, oh, I might as well stick around here and see because they didn't weren't into full lockdown in London, so I was like, oh yeah, I'll stay here for a week or something. But at that time, they changed the rules for the quarantine back in New Zealand, so I couldn't get a flight back home, so I ended up getting stuck in London.
I mean, it was to my benefit, obviously, because then we met and we I don't know. I think we met near the end of your trip, but we ended up hanging out and literally until you left. Like I left the same time you left for your flight. So it was great. It was a great friendship. And I
Yeah.
was at the time doing my 75 hard, and Chris just like came on and did it with me because I was like, no, like I can't keep hanging out here. Like I have to go read my book. I have to do my 2 workouts. Like, and he was like, fuck it, I'll just do it with you. So it made my life a lot easier. But you enjoyed it too. You liked the 75 hard.
Oh, I did. I was still trying to do it, and then when I got to the airport, I was like, because of the food options, they didn't give you the right choice. I didn't know how I could exercise. You know what I mean? At the
Yeah.
airport, I was like, if I stretch or something for 45 minutes, do yoga, but I didn't want to be like sit at the airport like on the floor and doing yoga or running around the airport. But I did try it. I think I booked ended up booking a room on my layover, and then I was in where Singapore or Korea? Korea, sorry. In my layover, I got a room. And I was doing it in my room. But what did I? I think I did. Yeah, I did the book. I was doing
Yeah.
the exercise, the food.
The food was the hardest part, I think, when you travel.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. There's obviously options there, but no, yeah, that's why. And then I wish I ended up doing it. I've just done it this year as well. So
I know. And your results were amazing. I'm so proud of you.
I think the boys that did it were better than I did, but yeah, no, it was
No,
good. It
you all
wasn't.
looked great. It's not an easy challenge, so I
Nah.
commend all of you.
Yeah, a lot of people think like when you hear 2 workouts a day is hard, but it's not the working out; it's more the food and the water, as you know.
The
If you
fucking
wait too long,
water. Oh my god.
if you wait too long for the water, you know what I mean? You're up all night pissing. So.
Yeah, literally all the time. It's nonstop. Ah, the memories. Okay, so do you want to tell everyone a little bit about kind of where you're from? So obviously, I mentioned that you live in Sydney, but your accent is very clearly not Australian. Um, and so just kind of tell everyone where you're from, kind of what your upbringing was like, and just like a little bit of background about yourself.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Auckland, West Auckland, out of Massey. Went to school there. Um, and then I'm proud Māori and Samoan, as well as
Mm-hmm.
I like to be called Māori, not New Zealander. Um, and also Samoan as well. Um, I have 2 siblings who have a few kids. My sister's got 2, and my brother's got 4. He's his youngest boy, his only boy actually, is named after me. So
Aw,
it's a bit of a bonus.
I love that. So you're close with your family then.
Yeah, very close, very close. My dad passed away when I was 19, but you know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's good. It's nice when you can grow up with siblings that you're actually close with and have relationships with, because there's so many families that are estranged, and it's sad.
oh, it's funny you say that. Me and my brother don't really know how to talk to each other. Like he
Oh,
can't,
really?
he doesn't know how to speak. We all just hear like if I say to my brother, he's just like, yeah, yeah, okay.
It's like not conversational at
No,
all.
no, no. But then he actually he messaged. I know he rang me out of the blue the other day. It was my dad's birthday,
Oh,
and he was at home and he had COVID. And I was like, why is he ringing me? Did he want something? Or usually they ring me if they want something. I wasn't, or something happened back home maybe. And then
yeah.
he told me, he's like, oh, what are you up to? I was like, I just finished work. I'm on my way to the gym. And then he was like, oh, I just thought I'd call you because Dad's birthday. I'm having a beer, and I thought you would. I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Oh, that's so sweet that he did that. He wanted to share a moment.
Yeah, I know, and I was like, I was caught off guard from that actually that phone call. And even when we were on the phone, we were only there for about 5 minutes. I was still like, why is he calling me? He never calls me. Does he want something? And I ended up messaging him after the phone call because it kind of like it stopped abruptly, and I was like, hey man, like thank you for the call. Like I appreciate it. Like I'm not drinking at the moment. It was July, so we do dry July over this side. I don't know
Oh,
what month
really?
I do it. Then you
We
just
do
do it.
dry Jan. You do dry July. That's so
You do
interesting.
October, October or something. Is it?
No, it's dry January. It's normally like right after New Year's. I think
Nah.
no, we do Movember in November. I don't think there's anything in October.
I thought it was sober October. I don't know, maybe. But there must be something for everything. So I was doing dry July, so I was like, shit. I was like, sorry, man, can you have a drink for me? And then, yeah, I just messaged him saying that he could talk to me whenever. And,
Aw, that's so sweet. So
and then
are all your siblings living back in New Zealand still?
yeah, so my mom lives with my sister and her partner and her two kids, and my brother stays with his partner and their four kids and her parents. I
Nice.
think her siblings, my brother's siblings, quite a big house. So.
How often do you get to see them?
I haven't seen them since I moved over here to Sydney.
Really? That's been
Yeah,
years.
no, it's only 1 year. What, a year and a half now? I
Has it
moved
only
here
been? Why does
last.
it feel like so much longer?
I know. What is it? Is it 2022?
Yeah, yeah, the middle, it's
Yes, I
August.
don't even know what year it is.
Honestly, I was about to say it's 2023, but it's definitely not. It's 2022 for sure.
Yeah, so but my mom came over last year for her birthday in May.
Yeah.
She came to Sydney for the weekend, and that was the last time I saw her. But otherwise, I just usually call my mom
Hmm.
usually before it was every weekend. Now I think I haven't spoken to her last weekend maybe or 2 weekends ago. And then she's at home, and so I just talk to whoever's around. And
Nice. That's
yeah,
good. So
that's
how did you end up getting into rugby then?
so rugby was, I guess, my dad got me into all sports when I was younger. He got me watching and playing everything. And a funny story, well, I don't know if it's funny, but I used to play soccer when I was 4 or 5.
Hmm.
My dad took me to soccer training one day, and then there was no one there. So I started crying, like, oh, I'm not playing. Like, I was
Oh.
gutted, so gutted that I wasn't playing soccer. And he's like, oh, we'll take you to rugby training instead. And then he ended up taking me to rugby training because I was crying too much. To stop me crying, he took me to rugby training. And then I guess ever since then, since I was 4 or 5 years old, I played rugby in New Zealand. And then I guess it was
Nice.
always a dream. It's huge in New Zealand rugby. So it's always
Yeah.
like a dream to play for New Zealand, which I didn't quite get to, but yeah.
I mean, you were pretty close though.
Yeah, well, I went as high as you could go, excluding the All Blacks, but
Hmm.
I went pretty high in New Zealand from from a young age. But I used to be, well, I wouldn't say small, but I was in the backs, so I used to be fast, and then so I used to. So those don't know. I don't know if you even know what a back or a forward is in rugby.
Yeah, yeah, I played rugby for a year in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
I
used to
was a
be in the
flank.
backs when I was younger, and then I slowly, as I got older, they started moving me closer towards the forwards because I was too big.
And then what were you playing when you went into the union teams? Was it a prop?
Yeah. So I think I started at second five when I was younger, first five from played all the positions growing up until I was 12. Then I moved to high school, and then everyone else was faster than me because they're all skinnier and smaller. So I was like, maybe I'm not made for this. So I moved to number 8, and then I think when I was 15, I decided I was still the biggest in the school, but like I thought I was pretty fast for my size. So I was like, nah, I don't want to go. And all my idols that I idolized when I was younger were all in backs. I never used to idolize forwards. So I
Yeah.
was like, nah, I'm staying in the backs because it's where the glory is made. And then ended up moving forward into the props. Props are the bigger guys of the team, so they don't really get spoken of the team, but they did the hard work.
All the hard work.
All the hard
So
work.
so how many years were you actually playing for?
So, well, since I was 5, I grew up playing
No,
twice a
sorry,
day.
when you reached like the rugby union level, like when you started playing professionally.
Well, professional, I reached it late for most people. A lot of the
Really?
people are still playing and holding on to that dream. And then I moved to the academy when I was at school. So I was decent. I thought I was good. Everyone would tell me I was good, but I don't think I was as good as I thought I was.
Mm.
Well, I just didn't put in the work. You know, when I was younger, I thought that my skill and my natural abilities would get me through to where I wanted to be. But when looking back at it, I was like, probably wasn't good enough. But so I made like rep teams when I was at school. So I think the first rep team was like under 16s. My first
Okay.
rep team. It's not professional, but it's like representative level for your union in New Zealand.
Hmm.
I was under 16, so that's when I was at school. And then I think my last year of school, they in my days, it was quite a few years ago. Um, in my days, they used to have under 19s and under 21s New Zealand team. Nowadays, they only have under 20s. And I went to a trial for under 19s, New Zealand under 19s, and I got injured. I think that would have been
Mm.
one of my first, well, one of my very first, well, not setbacks from my future progressing.
So what was the injury?
I ended up like popping my shoulder or something. I don't even remember. It's
Oh,
something to do with my shoulder. When you're younger, like you feel invincible. You feel like you can do anything.
yeah.
And so, like, yeah, after my shoulder got injured, I kind of just, I think that setback kind of got me a little bit gutted, I suppose, like that I missed
Mm.
out, a bit disappointed. I didn't really know how to deal with it. And
Yeah.
then I think I left school, was playing club footy for my team Messi, and and then I was in the academy while I was during school, so 3 years of that. And then I remember because it was my first year I was playing under 21s for my club, and I was still in the academy at North Harbour, and what do you call it? I made, I think I got the most tries in the competition
Oh,
for like, as a prop as well. So it was like unheard of that a
nice.
prop outscores the wingers. And then I got player of the club, the whole club, not just my team, but I got player of my team and player of my club that year. And then the,
Congrats.
the academy, the union that I was playing for, they didn't want me in the academy. They said, no, you don't fit. Like, into, pretty much they said I wasn't good enough. And I was like, how can I not be good
Wow.
enough? In my head, I was like, how can I not be good enough when I was scoring all these tries, best player in the club, and I was only, what,
Yeah.
19 or something? It's like, how could I?
That makes no
So
sense.
after that, I went into got into a bit of a slump because I was a big boy. I was a big boy at school. I think
Hmm.
I hadn't been. I was like 86 at, I don't know, 11 years old or 10 years old, or 86
86
kgs.
kgs.
I don't know how much. Yeah.
Okay.
And then when I got to high school, it was like 110 kgs. My first year of high school, second year was like 130 kgs. I don't
Oh
know
my
how
gosh.
much.
Converting right now. So 86 kgs for anyone listening is like 190 pounds. 110 kgs is 240, and then 130 is 286.
Yeah, so I was like that at when I was like 13 or 14.
Yeah, quite young.
130.
A lot of this though is also like because you're training and you're playing, like a lot of that must also be muscle.
No, that wasn't much because you're a baby. Do you know what I mean? You don't really get that much muscle. I thought it would have been muscle, but when you're a kid, you hold a lot of like baby fat. You see a lot of
Mm.
kids that have like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, fair.
And so I think I got up to like 150 kgs one stage. So yeah,
Wow.
from injuries and like disappointment, and I just ate and thought I was training, but I was just in the gym, no cardio.
Yeah, so it was like you didn't know how to process the emotions, so you just ate them, which is exactly what I used to do, just eat my emotions all the time. It's one coping mechanism.
Yeah. And so after I got dropped from the academy, I ended up doing security. I was doing
Mhm.
security for my cousin's business. And then I think after a few months, um, well, I had a bad night at work, very bad night at work. On the door, I wouldn't say beaten up, but I got hit a few times from a female in New
Oh.
Zealand. Some of the girls can be a bit, bit rough. Some can be a bit rough, as you can say. This girl was too intoxicated, and I told her she couldn't come in, and then
Mm.
she took it out on me. And then after that, I just bought a new jacket, like the black coats that they wear. I just
Mm-hmm.
bought a new one. And after that incident, I told two of my best mates, okay, you guys come outside. I'm going upstairs. You guys deal with this. I'm not dealing with anything outside. So you guys have to deal with the outside stuff. And then after work, I ended up going to my car and I had like a $400 fine for no rego, no warrant. So it was
Oh
like three
gosh.
things happened that night, and I was just like, this is one of the worst nights of my life, which ended up to be one of the best nights because when I got home, I checked. This would have been in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
I was only 21 or something, and I checked my emails because you get home. That was the only thing around then. I think it was maybe Facebook had just come out, maybe.
2007. Yeah, that sounds right.
So it was still emails, and I checked maybe it was a Facebook email and a message from this random person. They're like, "Hey, would you like to come play rugby in Portugal?" And I was like, "Is this like happening?" I was like, "Yeah, it's everything. Like it was my first ever semi professional contract. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know too much about it, and I was like, "Ooh, Portugal? Yeah, that's in South America." And I was like,
South America.
yeah, I'm going to South America. How cool. And I had to look it up on the map. And then I was like, Portugal? Oh, that's next to Spain, France. That's in Europe. How good is that?
That's
And
so
so
funny.
without hesitation, it was a drunken night. And I was speaking to my best mate at the time. We went out and I was like, and I told him about the offer and he's like, yeah, you should take it. And I was like, I can't leave my mom because she just lost, wow, we wasn't so after my dad passed away, and I'm
Mm,
a mama's boy, so my mom is my world. And it
yeah.
wasn't too long after that. I didn't know if I could leave her or not. And so I was 21, and I was like, rang her. He's like, just ask your mom, and I was like, she'll understand. So I like rang her crying. I was drunk and crying. I was like, Mom, I want to go to Portugal, but I don't want to leave you. Like, can I go? She's like, son, are you all right? I was like, yeah. I'm just, just a bit emotional. I want this opportunity. She's like, son, do whatever you think is best for you. And I was
Aw,
like, what? And I ended up going to Portugal. Moved to Portugal was one of the best decisions of my life, to be honest.
that's amazing. And then from there, I guess it just kind of led into other contracts and then getting you up to
No,
the
well,
rugby
that's the
union.
thing. That's the funny thing. When I went to Portugal, I thought that was my career done in New Zealand. Like the All Black dream and everything was over.
Mm,
Gonna live in Portugal, like because there's a few foreigners over there that were playing, and they had to live there for 3 years to qualify to play for Portugal, and then you get the European passport as well, so it classifies
mm,
you can go anywhere in Europe and play in France or something like that, UK. So I was trying to go down that page,
path.
that path. Sorry,
That's okay.
trying to go down that path, but it didn't. I think it was 2011. It was my third year there, and the World Cup was in New Zealand. And I was like,
Mm,
I wanted to play in that World Cup, like, well, even if it was for Portugal, but they hadn't qualified. So I
damn.
decided not to play for them. I decided to go home to New Zealand. And then I ended up back in New Zealand. 2011, I ended up watching the World Cup, and it was a great moment for us Kiwis because we won the World Cup at home.
Congrats.
And then, yeah, and then um, one of my other friends, they all moved to Australia. My friends that I grew up with and went to school with, they moved over to Australia and they're like, come over to Dubbo, which is like 6 hours from Sydney. It's like
Hmm.
in central New South Wales. And I wasn't doing too much. So I was like, yeah, why not? And then I think there was this volcano in Chile or something. This would have been in 2011, and it stopped all the flights. I already had my flight. I was literally at my leaving party. I had my leaving party
Oh
that
shit.
weekend, one weekend, and then there was there's all ashes, so all the flights had to be cancelled. I don't know if anyone
Mm,
remembers. Yeah, it was like in 2011 where a lot of flights got cancelled. So during that time, I was like, okay, the flights will be back in a couple of weeks. I already committed to this, And that time, another friend messaged me. He just moved down to Wellington in New Zealand. I was
Mm.
back in Auckland, and then he moved down to Wellington. He's like, "Come down to Wellington. Me and you can play some club footy down here." And I was like, "Yeah, sweet. Why not?" Like,
Okay,
not,
sorry. When you say footy, are you talking about like soccer or are you still
no,
referring to
sorry,
rugby?
we just call footy. I think they call it
Okay,
there in
because in
Australia.
England they call
Yeah,
footy like football, soccer. So I just wanted to double
yeah. Sorry,
check.
I apologize. Like, it's this Australian thing. They call it footy.
No, it's all good.
I call it rugby too. But so rugby.
Anyway, so you're going down to
Going down to
Wellington.
Wellington. Yeah, so we went down to Wellington. We've moved down to Wellington with my one of my other good mates, and we stayed and played down there. The first year didn't really come too much. Like the coach promised us, like they gave us a job, and I think I was working as a cleaner actually at the police station.
Oh
And
wow.
they gave me a job. I was like, it was a bit of an eye. I got to play actually rugby for the police, for the Wellington Police. We had entered a tournament, and I was like, how
Oh
cool is
my
this?
gosh.
I get to smash police, and I don't get arrested for it. I was like, this is so cool. We were playing in the pool. I remember I was training with my team, and we were playing like rugby in the pool though, and it was just
Mm.
our own team. And I was like drowning one of them, and I was like, look, you get arrested for doing this in real life, but I'm drowning the cop. And I was like, nah, better let him breathe, better let him breathe. But no, I was like, yeah, I was I wasn't doing much at work to be honest. They're like vacuuming the floors and then
Mm.
cleaning out the cells.
Yeah. I love
Um,
how just like free flowy you were though. I was like, you're just chilling, living life, opportunity comes up. Cool. Let me go do that. And like something happens, you have to change direction. It's like, okay, no big deal. I'm going to go do this instead. Like you're just very easygoing, just like coming and like accepting whatever the universe gives you. It's so like, I love it. I love that mindset.
I think it was after my dad died. I decided to
Hmm.
just he died when I was 19. So
Yeah.
he my dad he committed suicide
I'm sorry to hear that.
and what do you call it? He nearly killed my mom too. So he had beaten up my mom,
Wow.
tied her up, took her in the car, and then he was about to drive them to where he was supposed to end both their life. And my mom
Hmm.
managed to talk him out of it. They were driving in a car, and then he must have been driving all over the road, and then the cop stopped them, but my mom was in the back. So my dad was like, "If you say anything, I'm gonna kill this cop as well." And he had a knife, like a
Wow.
butcher's knife, in the car. So my mom managed to stay calm and didn't say anything. And the cop was looking at her, and she was like, "He was like, are you okay?" And she's like, "Yep, I'm fine. Everything's fine here." Sorry, just took my eyes off the road for a little bit, and then the cop let me
Wow.
go. And then I think my dad took my mom. He took her for a ride all the way up to where he eventually ended up killing himself. And so, some way, somehow, he managed to snap out of it. And my mom said she was telling him that, what about the kids? Think about the kids. And then,
Yeah.
for some reason, he let her go and like drove her all the way back home. And because I remember the phone call when my mom rang me again, I was out drunk with my mates. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and my mom rings me and she's like, "Son, don't go home. Your dad tried to kill me." And I was like, "What the hell?" Like, I didn't expect this call. I was out
Yeah.
drinking with my
Also,
mate.
like, are you trying to pull my leg? Like, is this a
Yeah,
joke?
exactly. Joking. That's what I mean. Like, it's like, oh, are you joking? Like, it's not. What are you talking about? It's not funny. Like,
Yeah.
um, and then she's like, "No, I'm serious. Son. Don't go home." Da da da. And I was like, to my mate, and I was like, "Man, my my dad tried to kill my mom," and he was like, "Oh," like laughing about it, and I was just like, and I was like, I got a little bit angry at him, but he didn't know. He thought I was joking too, because he was like, "Oh,"
Yeah.
he's like, "What? I mean, what do you expect? Like, that was the last thing they expected to happen, that kind of thing." And then
Yeah.
we ended up going back to my house anyway. No one was there, and I was just like, "Oh, this is weird." And then woke up in the morning, my mom rang again. "Son, where?" I was like, "I'm at home." And she's like, "What, was your dad there?" I was like, "No." He's like, "I told you, da da da." I was like, "Oh, are you for real?" So it wasn't until the morning I was like, "Oh, maybe she's
Yeah.
real." And then when I saw her, after I saw her, then I could tell it was real because she had like strangulation marks around her neck and the eye was
Wow.
bruised as well. And I was like, what the hell? And then yeah, everyone tried to ring my dad and see if he would come back, but it was like that was on a Thursday morning,
Hmm.
Thursday or Friday morning, and ended up the police ended up finding him on Monday morning. Up,
Wow.
yeah, he hung himself.
That's so sad. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's, you know, it's all part of, I suppose, life. It's part of my resilience, I suppose that you can call it
Yeah.
now.
Part of the
And
plot.
I can kind of, huh?
I said it's part of the plot for your movie.
Anything that's happened before wouldn't have led me to where I am right now at this moment. So
Hmm.
I'm just thankful that he didn't end up killing my mum. So I still have my mum today. I don't have any malice or anything against my dad. I don't hold anything against him. I still love him. That's my dad.
Hmm. Of course.
You know, and like what he did to my mum wasn't any reflection on what he did to me. So I don't
Hmm.
hold anything against him. He was obviously fighting his own demons, and I mean, I guess the saddest thing about that was I don't remember my last conversation with him
Oh no.
because, like I said, yeah, he moved to America when I was 12,
Yeah.
and he came back when I was 19. So he was back for 3 months until he did that. So like when we saw him, like we from when I was 12 till I was 19, when he spoke on the phone every so often because he was in America, and then we all got to visit him in America, like
Hmm.
me and my siblings. My brother went first, I think, for like 3 months, like our school holidays at the end of the year. So he went for like 6 weeks or 8 weeks, and then my sister went, and then I was the last one to go, and I was 16, so I hadn't seen him for 3 years when I first saw him again,
Wow.
and I was bigger this time, so
Yeah.
because yeah, I was bigger this time because before when I was little, I remember him. Because he used to beat up my mum when I was a kid, and I used to remember
Mm.
that as well. I even actually had to ring the police on him when I was 5.
Wow. That is
Yeah,
not a task a 5-year-old should be doing, or any child, regardless of the age.
yeah. I just remember hearing them fight, and then I went into the room and something because usually we'd hear that stuff before. As a kid, you don't know what's going on. You're just hearing all these
Hmm.
noises of things broken and stuff like that. I guess you don't want to envision what's happening. And then I think I was nosy and seeing what was happening and went out. And my mother's like, go to your neighbor, go to my auntie. Well, it wasn't my auntie, it was our neighbor. So go to
Hmm.
your auntie and call the police. Your dad's out of control. And I remember that as a kid. And so it was a bit of
So
a,
how do you think that these experiences and like your dad passing, I guess, helped you turn into who you are today? Like what did they give you, if that makes sense?
I think it wasn't just my dad, but it was like my whole family, my whole upbringing.
Hmm.
Like would be kids, would all be like really close with my cousins, my auntie, my grandparents who passed away too. We're very close, and we always used to go to our family house when we were younger. But they'd always have like parties and drink ups at their house, so we would all be sleeping in the kids. It would be like, I don't know, maybe 5 of us or 6 of us in a room sleeping on a bed or
Hmm.
in some bunks, and we'd all like sleeping. And then the adults would be outside drinking and stuff like that. And I just remember as a kid listening to them drinking and fighting and stuff like that. And I think I held on to that, and I never wanted to go down that path, of drinking or because I even when I was at high school, I was like, no, I'm not going to drink. Like I try to be good because I knew
Yeah.
what the path took you to because I'd seen it firsthand, and I didn't want to go there. Like my family, I love my family, but I think bar me, they all live in New Zealand and no one's left. They're still there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They all have
Yes.
families, which they have kids and which they have obviously responsibilities, and they had them young, so they haven't got to experience the traveling and everything that I got to do. And I always said to myself, I don't want to be like the rest of my family.
Yeah, it's like they were the perfect example of everything you didn't want to become, essentially.
Exactly. you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like I've definitely had that in my life too, where I see the way like certain family members are, or like how they hold on to things, or just different things, and I'm like, I just want to make sure that that's not who I turn into or who I become, because especially as like they're your parents, you have them in you, so it's a lot easier, and like there's the tendency there to kind of follow in their footsteps. So yeah, makes sense. And then how did you handle or process your dad passing? Like how were you able to get through that?
I don't know if I ever think I don't know because when it first happened, the news, like I still thought it was like surreal. I didn't think it happened.
Hmm.
I was like, no,
Like
no, it didn't happen. Like,
disassociated.
so when I got the call about they finding him, I was at my mate's house because they said don't come home. So I was at my friend's house,
Hmm.
and then I know we were at training. So we were at training. We were at academy, and we were at training. And then I never told anyone. And then I think maybe my mom must have rang his dad, my friend's dad, and so I was still training like it was normal. And then the guy, the coach was like, "Oh, you can, like, I'm sorry to hear you can go. You don't need to be here." And I was like, "No, I will need to be here. Like, I need to." I think for me, I just kind of out of mind, out of sight. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
I got to deal with it, so I was like, "No, I didn't." And then I ended up didn't going home because in New Zealand, when someone passes away or like the body stays in the house like for a week, like you bring it back to one house, and so people
Really?
can't say their goodbyes, or they can yell at the person, or they can say
Yell
their
at the
goodbyes.
person. Stop.
Huh?
I'm laughing that they come and yell at them.
Well, because if they're still angry or they're still they it's more a chance for the person if they never got to say their last goodbyes. Even if the
Yeah.
person was sick or anything, they would say, it's your space. You're there to talk to them, just to say your
Mm.
goodbyes. So they yell. Some people yell at them, like da da da, like why did you do this? Or some people,
Yeah.
and so they had the wake at our family house, at my grandparents' house. It's called a tangi. In Māori, it's called a tangi. I think people call
Hmm.
it a wake. And so
Yeah.
they had it, yeah. So they had that at there, and I didn't go there. I was like, no, I didn't want to go. And my mom was like, can you please come be with the family? Like all the family was there. I was like I don't want to be around it. Like I don't want to believe it's true. And then
Yeah.
it wasn't until my mom rang me, like I think that was on the next day. She said all your friends are here, so my mates, my school friends came, and so they were in the house. I still hadn't seen my dad yet. I hadn't seen the body to see if it was real because they asked, "Does anyone want to go and identify him when it first happened?"
Hmm.
I was like, "No, I don't want to see it. Like I couldn't see a dead body, like
Yeah.
especially my dad. And otherwise, the realization of it's true, makes it become real."
Yeah. So you had like a strong sense of denial, I
Yeah,
guess,
I
just
think
kind of
so.
lingering.
I think so. And then it wasn't until I first went into it. So this would have been 2 or 3 days after it would have happened. So I would have been there for a couple of days, and my friends were all there. So I went there because they were all there. And so I went, and then once I saw the body for the first time, I think that's when it really hit me, like that it happened.
Hmm.
But then I think I was still getting a little bit upset from what I was hearing from other people that were there, not my friends, but more I guess my family, my mom's family, my mom's side. They're very upset, what happened, and fair enough, they were like, but I didn't like people speaking bad about or bad about anyone when they're not there to
Defend themselves.
defend themselves.
Yeah.
I don't like that, and so yeah, I think after that happened, I don't know because when we buried him, I think we buried him on the Friday, and we had the funeral, and we were drinking and everything. I played the next day, played footy the next day. Actually played
Wow.
pretty well. Got like man of the match. It was only
Did
for
you?
like yeah under 21s. I don't know if they gave it because like they just felt like it, or they gave
Mm.
it because I was good. But I was pretty good that year, and yeah. So my family always say like because there's been a few funerals and I've been away for footy that I can't make it or I come back for it, and I'm like, can I play this week? And they're like, yeah, of course. They always want you to play. They're,
Hmm.
they're always proud of they love watching me when I was on TV and stuff like that. And so if anything happens like that, they say, no, that's they always want you to play.
Yeah. They always want the best for you, which is lovely. I think that's so nice.
Yeah.
And so that like this whole experience, so this chat, I guess, kind of stemmed from my comment of you just being super go with the flow, super just like accepting whatever life gives you and kind of changing direction when needed. So you're saying that that kind of attitude you developed after his passing?
Yeah, kind of like a like don't take anything for granted, kind of, like
Yeah.
that's like cliche would say YOLO, but like actual YOLO, you know what I mean? Like live every day like it was your last day. Like that's
Yeah.
how that's how I would live. Like make the most of any opportunity because you don't know tomorrow's never promised. So take the opportunity while it's there. You know.
Yeah. 100%. And I think a lot of people want to live that way, but they're just so stuck in their ways that it's hard for them to kind of just let go and like flow. And you embody it so naturally. It's amazing. Like even me, like if something changes, I'm like, oh, but I had a plan for this. Like I wanted to do this. And like even though I'm like accepting and I'm like, okay, like yeah, like let's go with the flow, it still takes me a second to like get there sometimes if I've really been building something up or I was like really excited for something or so like that change of moving from like going to Australia to then just going down to Wellington. Like in my brain, I feel like I would have been like, oh, but I was so excited to move to Australia. Like, you know, like it would have taken me some time to be like, okay, F it, I'm going to Wellington. It wouldn't have been just as easy as it was for you. Like you're just, yeah, it just comes with ease, I guess.
I think also because I think maybe I just like being away, like anywhere. Maybe I
Mm,
didn't like. I don't know if I don't like being around my family, but that just reminds me of where I don't want to be.
yeah.
Um, in terms of like, I don't want to be doing the same kind of job or just doing a job for the sake of doing a job. You know what I
You want to
mean?
feel
Just a
fulfilled
job
in
to.
what you're doing.
I wanted to make the most of any opportunity I was given. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah. So when I moved to Wellington that first year, and I was like working in a police station, like cleaning. I was like, what am I doing here? Like I was in Portugal last year, and now I'm here. Wellington. I was like, it's okay. Like just, I think that year, that time, um, no, it was I had just met my first ever proper girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I just come back from Portugal now, I must have been what 25 or something, and I was just like, I think it's time for me to settle down and find a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, so she was actually the reason why I kind of like, for me, my journey is kind of like thankful because of other people. You know what I mean? Like if it wasn't for my friend saying move to Wellington, then I want to move to Wellington. And if it wasn't for my ex, my first proper girlfriend when I was
Mm-hmm.
25, she was a nurse, and so she applied for a job in Wellington. And because when you're a nurse, you can only pick one place to go for sure, like,
Okay.
or I mean, you have to stay there for a year. And then at the end of that year, of my first year in Wellington, when I was like, this is not going to work out, I think I might go back up to Auckland because there was another opportunity for me up there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, I'm going to go up to Auckland because I was playing in another tournament. Like, so this is all like semi kind of pro stuff. I was playing in a sevens tournament. I got to travel to Hong Kong and
Nice.
Malaysia for the sevens tournaments. They have like the Hong Kong sevens. Every year there's one of the biggest, it used to be one of the biggest tournaments. And they had a tens tournament like a few days before. And so I went there and I played for Tana Umanga. He was our coach for one of the teams. Those who
Mm-hmm.
don't know Tana Umanga obviously don't know rugby.
I was gonna say I have no idea who
He's
that
one of
is.
the, one of the All Black greats, All Black legends. And he
Okay.
was our coach. He was the coach for it's our invitational team. And he was like, when I was in Wellington, then he said, come up to Auckland. We can give you opportunity here. They can't give you a contract, but we can, here's an opportunity. So do you want to, like, if you're good enough, then you'll make the team. And I was like, oh, okay, yep, sweet. And then my partner at the time had just booked, like, I mean, had just settled in for Wellington, and
Mm-hmm.
she got accepted, so she had to be there for a year. And she's like, I just moved there because of you. And I was like, all right, I'll stay here for a year then. And then that was the year, actually, my second year, when everything kind of just fell in place for me in terms of my professional career. I suppose I kind of was, I don't know, I don't like saying lucky, but I guess it was a little bit lucky. Like I was 25 and I got put into the Wellington Academy at the start of the year. And the academy is like for guys who are still at high school. So they're like 15, 16, and I was
Mm-hmm.
25. So I was, coming in at 7 o'clock or whatever for trainings in the morning. These are people who either go to training and then they go to school, or they go to training and then go to work.
Okay.
And so I was like going to training, and then at 8 o'clock, all the professionals would come in. So all the guys I ended up playing with would come in at 8 o'clock, and I'm like, I'm older than most of these guys, so I was a little bit embarrassed. Like I was still in the academy, and these guys are professional footy. And they're like, I was like in my head, I was like, oh, I wonder if these guys must think, oh, this guy, he's old and he's here. That was all in my head, I played that in my
Yeah.
head because eventually I learned, a lot of stuff we think is just all in our heads.
Yes, I literally made a post about this the other day. Like we're always in our heads, we're always overthinking, and our ego is constantly feeding us messages of things that were built into our subconscious as a kid through experiences. And so as you get older, you constantly have those replaying in your head of like and your mind's telling you things that aren't true because you're judging yourself or you're feeling like you're not good enough or all of these other things because that's what you felt in your primitive years, primitive, the young years basically, when your psyche was being formed. And it's like it's something that we all need to kind of work through to rewire the neural pathways in our brain so that we can get rid of all of the limiting beliefs and like the negative self-talk and all of that and actually stand in our worth and like see who we are. So yeah, that's like a big thing that I'm passionate about.
Yeah, so that happened for the first few months, and then I ended up playing like a game, like for the academy. So we played against another
Mhm.
academy. Like Wellington played against Manawatu Academy, and then I think I played very well. But obviously, because they're all kids, and I'm I'm about a grown man, but they're all like 18 or 16, 17, 18, and I
Oh,
was
wow.
25. And so it kind of like happened. Lucky I was in that academy, and then there was another team. It was like the Hurricanes development team, and they had a couple of injuries, so they like just pulled me in last minute, and then I ended up playing in that team, and I was lucky. I didn't think I was playing that well as I usually am. Like I didn't think I was doing anything amazing, but they saw something, and then I think it
Mhm.
was one season injury away, and someone got injured from the professional team, so they brought me in. And that was a pretty daunting experience for me the first time I came in because these are like all guys. I guess So I was 5, so I looked up to the All Blacks as like they're your idols. Everybody in
Yeah.
this team is idols. So my first, I think, day in the Hurricanes team, there was like legends like Matanonu, Conrad Smith. Um, who else was there? Some guys are still playing now, like TJ. They were just coming in. TJ Perenara, Bowden Barrett, Jeremy Fosh, Owen Franks. All these guys I've just seen on TV, and
Mhm.
and just admired for so long. Didn't ever think I'd get to play with them or see them. Um, so yeah, coming into that environment was quite daunting for me. Like I used to be very shy, very very shy person. Like
I cannot imagine that.
I know now I'm the complete opposite. Very complete opposite. But
Yeah.
yeah, I used to be so shy, and like when I saw them, I just like put my head down, like, oh, hey, sir. They're like, mate, just talk to us. Like they're just normal guys, They just spoke to me normally. They were like having normal conversations, and I was just like, oh my gosh, these guys are like they're just like us. You know what I mean? They're just normal
Yeah.
people. They're easy to talk to, but we hold them at such a high level as like you know, as these gods kind of. And then until we meet
Mhm.
them, we don't realize they're just like everybody else. They eat, breathe, and shit just like everyone else.
Yeah,
And
for sure. Like that's part of like the way you said it, you're like they're just like us. Like that's literally the title of this show, like just like you. Like it's about understanding that we're all so similar and that like we're with as many differences as we have as humans at our core. we all want the same things. We all kind of deal with similar experiences, and we can all help each other learn and grow. And I just, yeah, I'm just, I don't even know where I'm going with that, but
No, I know, but
it's, yeah, we're all the same. We're
we
all
are.
humans.
But I think a lot of people put a lot of people on pedestals because they see it as fame or something like that. But you gotta
Yeah.
forget that end of the day they're human as well. They have feelings just like everyone else. Just because everyone else sees them like this as this type of person doesn't mean that's who they think they are in their head. They might just think they're normal as well.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them
Exactly.
might get to their heads, some people, but I think a
We're all
lot of
just
them,
here living the human experience.
exactly,
Yeah.
we are.
Okay, so this, I guess, led you to playing like professionally.
Yeah,
And
so those opportunities, so that yeah, when those guys got injured, and I came from the academy with all the kids from school into
mhm.
the Hurricanes development, which is like the second team. Then I ended up covering for covering for the guy that got injured, and I moved into the professional team um, from there. But like my first year, I was like half the season, and then I got called into it, and then I broke my thumb.
Oh
And I
no.
broke my thumb, and like I was just about to play my first game ever, professional game, and then I broke my thumb like 2 weeks before or a week before. I was so gutted, but lucky it was my finger. What was on my thumb? I don't know if you can see my fingers, but they're not straight.
Oh yeah.
So
The knuckle is just like whoosh.
yeah, so there's a memory of when it happened. But I was only 6 weeks, and lucky I had been signed. I got signed to one of the provincial unions, Manawatu, before that injury. But the level that I was playing at, Super Rugby level, was higher than the. It's literally you get picked to the All Blacks from that
Oh
level.
wow.
And,
So you
you
were
play
like
Super
right
Rugby.
there.
Well, you got to be a starter, not just in the squad. But yeah, like that's the level that was. So then I had to come back down to the provincial union where everyone plays. So you play that. There's 10 teams or 12 teams where you play that too,
Mhm.
and there's like 4 teams in each province to make a super team. So whatever province you play, then you come into the Super Rugby team. But I'd already made the super team before making the province team.
Ah, okay. Skipped a
So,
step.
and so I ended up, my thumb ended up fine. Ended up playing that province for Manawatu my first year. Had a
Hmm.
pretty good year, and then ended up making the Māori All Blacks, which is not obviously not the All Blacks, but that was huge for me. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people think, like in New Zealand, don't think that team should be there, or they think it's a bit because they're Māori, they think they get special kind of privileges, but
Hmm.
it's a very special team for me, and because like for me, I was brought up. I don't know, like we say plastic in New Zealand. Like, so if you can't
Plastic.
speak, like, so if you say you're plastic Maori or plastic Samoan, that means you're Maori or Samoan by blood, but you don't know anything about your culture. You can't speak it,
Uh,
or you don't know how to. You don't really know
I'm
where
plastic
you're from.
Polish then,
So
basically,
say
because I can't speak
you're
it.
plastic, like in New Zealand, you're plastic Maori or plastic Samoan. Yeah, plastic Polish. So I was always thought to myself that I was like plastic. I always was
Hmm.
embarrassed to be a Māori at school growing up. Like people would make fun of Māoris and Islanders and you're a fob. Like fob means fresh off the boat.
Yeah.
So at school they're like, you're a fob. Like you're a Māori. You're a Hori like that. And you're like, no, I'm not. Like no, no, no. And so I was a little bit embarrassed when I was younger to be
Hmm.
Māori. I'd always say that I'm Samoan, and then if someone was like laughing I was Samoan, then I'd say I was Māori, but I didn't know either
Yeah.
too much of all. So it wasn't until I went into that team where I really like learned a lot about my culture and really wanted to find out a lot more about it. And it's a special thing about that team. Like that team is probably one of the best teams or my favorite team I ever played for because we're all related. Everyone in that team. That's what makes that team so special. We're all we're all Māori, so we're all connected by blood down the
Mm-hmm.
river or somewhere. And they always teach us about grounding, so they
Love
teach
it.
you where to come from. So they always so in Māori, you say your pepeha. That's like when you introduce yourself. I should have
Mm-hmm.
introduced myself with my pepeha. But in Māori, so you say your pepeha, so I'll do it in Māori. So I say, ko Chris tako ingoa, tainui te waka, tupiri te maunga, waka te awa, tainui te awa. And then, I mean, tainui te iwi, which means tainui is my boat that we came into.
Mm-hmm.
Tupiri is my maunga, it's our mountain. Wakato is my river, and then Tainui is my tribe. So that's where my people are from. So if we
I
ever
love
lost,
that.
if we ever feel lost, we always can go back to our roots and be like, this is where all our ancestors came from. The mountain, this is the water that they touch. So what they touched, whenever it was, how many years ago, now we're touching this. Bring your feet into the ground, and now that you're connected with them, this is where they're all buried. All your ancestors are buried, so you can kind of, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that is such a beautiful practice. I'm like in awe. Like that, I don't know why, but that makes me feel a certain way. Like, oh, I love that. There's like such a spiritual aspect to it, but then such like a community building aspect to it, and just like being so in touch with your roots and your ancestors. And oh my God, I just love it.
And so it makes you play for that jersey as well, like even more, because you want to play for your family. You play representing your family. You represent. So it
Hmm.
makes the jersey mean more to you. Like you're like, this is for my family. For everyone else that could be, for everyone else that's played in this jersey, make you just like appreciate the jersey more. Because when you're playing footy, sometimes people just wear the jersey or something like that, and they just play the game because they love it or they're good at it. But for us, putting on that jersey means more than that. You know, it means like this is who we're representing. We're representing all of this. We're doing it for all
Hmm.
our people. And yeah, it's a very special team that I will always hold close to my heart to be able to play
Yeah.
it. We got to travel like to cool countries. We got to go to Japan. Was it my first year? No, my first year would have been America. Maybe we went to Toronto and
Yay.
Vancouver. Went to Vancouver. Went to watch the Canucks in Vancouver. Went to
Hmm.
Toronto as well. Um, we
So
got to
was
go.
this the team you were playing for when you were forced into retirement?
The Hurricanes was the team. So the
The
Maldives is
Hurricanes.
the
Okay.
team that you get picked for. It's like a representative team.
Gotcha.
Um, the Hurricanes and my provincial team was.
Okay.
I think it wasn't.
So, sorry, go ahead.
No, no, no. Sorry. Yeah.
um, so what then forced you into retirement? Like what did that process look like?
Well, I don't know if I. I think I've retired from professional footy, but I was
Hmm.
still playing this year.
Were
Like,
you?
yes, I tore my bicep actually this year.
Yes, I remember you saying that.
But I think that year I was just so lucky. I ended up playing how many games? Over 50 provincial games for my provincial teams for three different teams. So I played 4 years with Manawatu, 2 years with North Harbour, and 1 year with Bear Plenty.
Hmm.
And I think I ended up playing over 50 games for them over those 7 years. But that's only like 10 games a year, and I think I missed two seasons of those through injury. And then for the Hurricanes, I ended up playing 80 something, 89 or 80, 89 or 88 games or something like that
Wow, it's a
for the
lot.
Hurricanes, which is quite a lot. I didn't even
Mm,
think I'd get to one, but to play 89 when I got my 50th ring, it was quite a huge. Like me and my
amazing.
mates at the time were like, because they see these guys all came through different paths. They were all younger, so I was like 25, 26 when I first got my first opportunity. They were all like 18, 19, 20, and they're
Hmm.
and so the guys that I got close with were like joking. Oh, imagine we always used to see guys presenting their 50th game jerseys. Like, oh, I'm gonna get to present your jersey, or like we used to laugh at like who's gonna present each other's. Like, and they were like in front of me, with like because they already been there for a year, and they're in front of me by like 13 games or 20 games, and I was like, and I never thought I'd get to 50, and then I eventually ended up surpassing both of them, and presenting to one of them their 50th when I got my 50th,
Amazing.
and I presented his 50th jersey. Um, but I wanted to get to 100, and I think that was one of my biggest disappointments. That I think, when I look back at it, I thought like that I was going to play another year with them,
Mm,
and I guess I assumed that was my assumption on that. I'd just been getting through like I wouldn't say I was like awesome. I did have my awesome times, but I
mm-hmm,
was like I guess someone who just did their job well, and I thought that was enough to be able to get myself to 100 games. And so because I'd never got injured through my whole career with them. I think maybe once in 2015 we lost the final.
mm,
I had done my hamstring in the final, and in 2016 we won it. But I never missed a game for them until my last year, my 2019 for them. And that was my last year of my contract. I'd already done 1 year, 2 years, 2 years, two
okay.
years with them. So I ended up doing about 7 years, I think, 6 or 7.
Wow. So did they just not resign you?
Yeah, pretty much. And it was like, I think the way I found out, like, I think it was at the end of the year. And so I just assumed they were going to re-sign me. And they're like, oh, they told me during the year. I hadn't really had the conversation because I just thought, yeah, they're going to sign me again. Like,
Mm,
I didn't think I was, done anything wrong. They knew I wanted to play 100 games, and I just assumed that they were going to sign me. And so it came to the end of the year, towards like we were about to play our semi-final, and then the coach, not the coach, so it's the guy that kind of deals with the contracts, I think, and he was saying, oh, next week could be our last week, so we're going to have our leave end of year dinner, and we just wanted to know if you wanted something at the end of the year. Usually we only usually when someone leaves, they do like a montage of like clips and highlights
mm,
of that. But that person has already signed, like maybe at the start of the year or halfway during the year, they already signed the contract to go somewhere else. But for me, I didn't keep my options open because I thought that I was playing for another year with
yeah.
them, and I was like, he comes to me and asks me for if I wanted to have one of those. He's like, did you want to have your own thing? And I was like, nah, it's all right. I was like, I'm not coming. I was like, I'm not going to come to the thing. Like, is that how you're telling me that you're not signing me?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not coming. And so usually at the end of the year, you have your end of year reviews and stuff like that. But that was after the dinner as well. So I was like, I'm not going to go to the dinner and then like go to the reviews and the coaches tell me, oh, da da da. I was like, you could have told me before, like, or somewhere during the season where I could have, what do you call it? I
Looked
could
at
have
other options.
looked at other options.
Yeah.
But that it just happened to be that year I had like two bad injuries, I think. Yeah, I think I did. But the first time I was playing at the start of the year of that year, and then the first time I wasn't selected was because my my um my who was it? My nana and my
Mm.
uncle who live in the same house passed away on the same day.
What?
So my uncle, he's my auntie, my mom's
Yeah.
sister, her
No,
partner.
but
He had cancer, so he was sick. He was
okay.
already sick. My nana wasn't sick, but my granddad had already passed 2 years before that. And ever since that, my nana was not the same. She was sad. She wasn't the same person. So she was always sad, but she wasn't sick. I was just in. I flew to the Gold Coast actually, and my nana dropped me off that Friday. I think it was a Friday, and I flew to Gold Coast for the weekend because I was on plane. And then my mum rings me and says, "Son," and I was like, "Shit!" I got this phone call before because that was the same phone call she gave me when my
Mm,
granddad died. My mum gave me this call, and I was like, "Oh no, it's my uncle." She goes, "No, it's your nana." I was like, "What?" She just dropped me off to the airport like yesterday. So
mm,
she passed away. She had a heart attack. Like I was like, "What?" Like I was like shocked. I thought it was my uncle, and because I was just in so much shock, and I was like, okay, I'll try and sort out flights to come back home because I was only there for like I think another 2 days. I was like, okay, I'll come home tonight,
Mm.
and then she rings me back in 2 hours later, and she's like, son, it's like, what's up now? She's like, no, your uncle died too, and I was like, what?
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, what's the chances of them both dying
On the
on the
same
same
day.
day? And they both live at the same house from different circumstances, you know.
Hmm.
And like, because I just spoken to my
Crazy.
uncle too before I left, because I went to go see him because he was sick. Obviously, he was in the house sick, and I just spoken to him. He's like, "No, I'll get through this. You know, I'm going to get through this soon." But when I saw him, he was quite, quite sick. But he's a strong man, so I thought that he'll get through it too. I was like, "No, this guy's one of the strongest guys I know. His
Hmm.
willpower and his, resilience, he'll get through this." So our family, we look at it as soon as my nana passed away, my uncle. It's not his mum. It's not his mum, but pretty much he's lived with them, my grandparents, his whole life.
Hmm.
We say that he passed away to guide my grandma to the
I'm not
after.
gonna lie. My spiritual side was thinking that when you were saying that she was the one that passed first, I was like, I wonder if it was like an energetic thing where because she left, he was like, okay, I need to go now too.
Yeah, well, that's what we think too. That's what our whole
Yeah.
family believe. And then it was such a miscommunication between me and the coach. I told him like obviously what happened, and so I'd
Mm.
already missed a week before, and then he was like, "Oh, it'd be nice to see you like this week," and I was like, but they didn't say there was confirmation of me like playing. I think someone other
Mm.
because there's another guy that could have played, but I think there was someone that was injured, and then another guy might have played. So he was like, "Oh, it'll be good to see you this week, but you got to do whatever is right by your family first." He was
Yeah.
like, "If you can give me confirmation I'll play, I'll come down." But I eventually ended up staying, and I had to miss another game for that. And then 2 weeks later, what do you call it? I tore my pick. I tore my
Oh,
pick, which I thought that was going to be out for the rest of the year. I didn't get it
yeah.
operated on. I went to Samoa for some miraculous reason. I didn't need to get it. The surgeon had told me, "Yep, it's torn. You need to get it operated." The physio said, and I was like, "Okay." Going away for a week, see how we go. And then I went away for a week for some reason. I don't know. Like I went to Samoa because I'm Samoan. Got to see my Samoan family. Just felt like it healed itself. It wasn't
Yeah.
full. But I came back and I was doing the press up and doing this, and the doctor was like, "How did it heal?" I was like, "I don't know, but I feel fine." It wasn't fine, but it was good enough. Like the
Yeah.
surgeon just said, "Well, if it ends up tearing completely because it hasn't torn completely, if it ends up tearing, then you can just get it operated on anyway. So it's up to you to make that call. We can either do it now or wait till it fully tears." I was like, "Wait till it fully tears." And there's still a hole here in the chest, anyways. And so I had to do like a few weeks of rehab because I knew it was my last year on contract, so I was playing for a contract. So
Mm.
I was like, oh, um, I'll try and play through it. And then it ended up being coming back towards the end of the year, and then another injury happened. So I was like,
So
my last year on my contract, and all these things happened. So it's just like a sign of like, I think that's your
that's
body
it.
telling you that's enough. You know what I mean? Because I was
Yeah.
older, even though I had only been like, which to some people, like 7 years is still a short time. Like in the game, like that's quite a long for a lot of people.
It's a
And
lot
then,
for your body to deal with. 7 years of being bashed on a regular
yeah,
basis.
some people do it for 10, 15. And that's why I have
It's
so much respect
so
for
much.
these guys that do it for so long. But
Mm.
now, I'm feeling the effects of it right now. I'm like, I'm only
Are you?
34, but I'm sure I'm walking around like a 60-year-old.
Yeah. So that was your final year playing then.
So that was the
And
final year. And that was pretty much how I kind of came into retirement. I was actually supposed to move. That was my final year playing for them. So then I was going to move to um, America, San Diego.
yes, actually, I remember talking about this.
I was going to move with my ex.
My
We were
dream.
going to move to San Diego,
Mm-hmm.
and then another opportunity came up, and so I said, oh, I'm going to go to Japan instead. So I ended up going to
Mm-hmm.
Japan and like pulling myself out of the American deal. And they're like, you can't do that. I was like, they haven't paid me anything. So what do you mean you can't break the contract? I was like, get me out of it. Like, I told my agent, I was like, you got to get me out of it. Like, I have no interest. Don't they want
Mm-hmm.
someone who wants to be like 100% committed there? I was like, if I come, I'm not committed. Like, I was supposed to come with my ex partner, and now I'm not. We're not coming together, so there's no point of me coming. I'm gonna go somewhere else where it's gonna make me happier. You know,
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. You got to do what's best for you.
I know, but then that ended up like costing me because they blacklisted me off the American market when I tried to go over there now.
Mm,
And then
yeah.
that was 2019 to 2020 was when I moved to Japan, and then that was the year of COVID. So I ended up there for 3 months before COVID happened, and then I was stuck in New Zealand. And after that,
Yeah.
no one wanted my old body. My old body
You're
anymore.
not even old. Just gonna say.
Well, in terms of rugby, like my body is old, like how it functions.
Yeah. So then what was the transition like once you stopped playing?
End of 2021, was it? No, 2020. I tried to organise to get back here, and so that's what I organised to come here, to come to Australia. I knew it
Mm,
was Coogee. I knew because every time we played for the Hurricanes, we stayed at Coogee, and I was like, "This is a beautiful spot." I didn't know the team. I know the team now. It's one of the most historic clubs in Australia, apparently,
is
and in the
it?
world, apparently. The team I'm playing for. I didn't know
Nice.
that, but they told me about it. I was like, I've never heard of your club before. Um,
That's cool though.
and so the guy was a Kiwi. He's from New Zealand as well. So they brought me over here. So they said they'll give you a job and stuff like that.
Mm,
Um, but I think during like it was good that COVID kind of happened for me at that time for that transition stage because like when I was playing footy, I didn't know what I was going to do after because I was like they keep asking, "Oh, what do you want to do?" I was like, "I don't know." I'm not interested in this. I'm not interested in that. I needed to find
mm,
something to be interested in. So it was nice for the like good timing for me in terms of when the pandemic happened because I was able to take it time and go through everything that I wanted to learn or wanted to do. And I got myself into like a good routine of reading. I never used to be a reader.
mm-hmm.
I started reading books, listening to um, podcasts and things like that, just learning. Like I was always
Yeah.
knowledgeable. I knew a lot of things, but just trying to find my niche. I said what I wanted to do when I was playing footy was I didn't want to work for the man. I don't know if you know
Mm-hmm.
that saying, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But a lot of people work for the man, and I was like, I want to make sure that I'm enjoying what I'm doing, that I love it, and that it's helpful to others, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. I feel that.
And so when I think my first book that I read was like Rich Dad Poor Dad, so I was like all into the financial, trying to make money, kind of
Mm-hmm.
how money works, interested and intrigued about like how all of this stuff kind of works. So I started studying day trading, and I joined this academy thing that was like to learn how to trade stocks and stuff like that. And then what do you call it? I was studying real estate, so I was getting my real estate license. That's what I'd done. I'd done my real estate
Mm-hmm.
license in New Zealand. I was doing it when I was in London, so I was finishing off my papers. And so I decided, like, okay, when I go to Australia, I was going to do real estate. So when I came here, I was going to get into the real estate game. And then they said, "Hey, we got this job at the school working as a support learning, student support learning stuff, which is like a teacher's aide. And like, this is a
Mm-hmm.
job for you to make sure that you have when you arrive. And then after that, you can decide what you want to do." This was the start of last year. And now I'm still working that job because I love it. Like the
Yeah.
job that I do, like it fits my lifestyle. I get to help people, like I get to help kids because what we do is we work with the kids one on one rather than
Mm-hmm.
teaching the whole class. We get to work with the kids who like suffer from like autism or um, ADD,
Learning disabilities.
ADHD, or just had like learning disabilities pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's so cool, like it's so refreshing. I get to learn again while I'm at school. It's interesting what they're teaching, um, and a lot of it I get to do. One of the big things is that I get to do sport with them, so I take.
Oh yeah.
So I'm active as well. So I like to I keep active as well, and it fits like the hours of work fits my lifestyle. Like I think I start at 8:30 and finish at 2:30. So
It's
before that,
amazing.
before I go there, I go to the gym. After work, I go to the gym, or I have time to go to training or do whatever. The sun's
And
still
it
out.
still
So I
gives you
want
time
to
to
go to
play
the
rugby.
pardon.
It still gives you time to play rugby too.
Yeah, and it's not professional. So when I fought it, it
Yeah.
wasn't like when I thought, okay, it's gonna be easy footy, like easy rugby, sorry, and come
Mm.
over here, it's not gonna be that demanding on the body. It actually was. Like I said, I ended up tearing my bicep this year. I think because my mind wasn't in it. Like I had no
Mm.
motivation to play this year. Last year, the season got called off, and I was gonna say last year was my last year because like my body couldn't handle it. I could feel my body,
Mm.
my joints, in that being like, "No, this is enough. I can't handle this." So um, I was like, "Oh, it finished because of COVID last year for half the season." So I was like, "Oh, the club, they brought me over to Sydney. They set me up. They gave me this job and everything that I'm doing at the moment. These people networking, so I owe it to them to play another season." But
Yeah.
my heart wasn't in it. Like when I was playing this year, I was like, "Nah." And I think that's why I kind of got injured too.
Probably if you're not like present and paying attention, sometimes things can just happen. So when how do I want to word this? I'm trying to think. How did it feel to go from playing professionally to now working like a normal person job in a school and playing like not recreationally. I don't know if that's the right word because I don't really understand the different levels of teams, but like how did it go from rugby being your job, like being your whole life to now having to split it between working in a school and playing, I guess like in your spare time?
I think for me, the period of time of not playing
Mhm.
kind of helped that transition, because I wasn't playing for so long, but I was kind of still getting paid for that
Mhm.
year, so I kind of could decide on what I was doing. And it was like, for me, I guess, I thought maybe I could get back there to that level. Like, so I still kind of had hope that I could still play. And
Mhm.
then after playing, I was like, and working, it was actually after working and being like, actually, I feel like just I don't feel like doing this anymore. Like it's not my passion. I'd rather like on a Friday because like you play on Saturdays, so if you want to have a drink or something on Friday, you can't because
Yeah.
before your game you got to make sure everything's right on Saturday. I was like, I really just want to be able to like I've always looked forward to the end of my career. I always thought about the end of my career in terms of working a job where I could go out with my work colleagues on a Friday, have a few drinks, and watch
Aw.
footy instead of like having to stress about the game tomorrow, about what I'm eating
Yeah.
tonight, making sure I get a sleep, enough water. It was more about
It was almost like a relief that you didn't have to stress over all these things
yeah,
anymore. And
pretty
it
much
sounds like the time that you spent not playing when you were like learning and reading and doing all these things, you were really just reconnecting to yourself and exploring and trying to figure out what it was that you liked, what it was that you didn't like, and then what types of things you would want in a job. Like the way you said that you just wanted to help people, like you didn't know what it was, but you knew that helping people was something you wanted to do. So it sounds like you just were able to really get in touch with yourself and something literally just fell in your lap of everything that you wanted. It was like you just manifested it into reality, which is amazing.
I guess yeah. I guess when you look at it, say it like that, that's how it kind of happened, you know.
Put the spiritual lens on it.
Because yeah, it's not like the the job that I'm doing is the pay's not like that great or anything, but like it pays the bills. It like puts food on my. I always bring it back
Hmm.
to I suppose gratitude, because I've
Yeah.
always had it worse. Like I said, like I worked as a cleaner, cleaning the police station, so I've already had like experienced, working and like just kind of that kind of lifestyle. So for me, it's not a big transition where I think a lot of people, especially younger kids, like getting
Mm.
picked up early, they don't go through that like kind of life experience of learning like how to work or meeting people or travel because they're just stuck to this professional life of like, you know,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, they'll get paid well and stuff like that as they're younger, but then once it finishes, like they don't know what they want to do because they've never had really life experience, you know. So that's what I'm kind of
Hmm.
grateful for, that I was able to have life experience before becoming professional. So it wasn't too much of a transition going back to it because I'd already done it before. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, that makes so much sense. Would you say that you feel fulfilled, like in your job now and in your life? Like, do you feel a sense of fulfillment?
I definitely do. I definitely
Oh,
do.
I love that. I'm so happy for you.
I
Yeah.
think it's just my lifestyle, not just my job, but my lifestyle, like my life, like
Yeah.
where I live. You know what I mean? Like this, this is one of the most beautiful places in the world. Like
Hmm.
I go for a walk around. I live like 5 minutes from this big park called Centennial Park. It's beautiful. I was there today actually, and then I'm like another 10-minute walk or something from the beach where you can do the coastal walk. Where you can walk for
Oh,
2 hours all along the coast, you know, and it's so beautiful in the morning. Like, and I'm just
yeah.
looking up, like I was like, why would I move from it? Look how beautiful this is. Like, it doesn't cost anything. It's free. It's free to enjoy these little things, you know, these things that the world that life has to offer. So why do I need to be anywhere else? I don't need any more money. I've lived like a great life, like even during my time of being a professional, you know. I didn't
Hmm.
save much money because I was spending it either traveling or gambling or boozing.
Yeah.
So I didn't end up saving much money. So now I'm like doing things that don't cost anything. You know, I catch the bus to work and I'm just like, you know, this is so cool. Like it keeps me grounded, you know, like it's like
Hmm.
not so long ago I was like, you know, my new truck and my brand new truck driving around, like thinking I was like, you know, and now I'm just on the bus with everyone else. Like I was like in my head, I'm like, this is so cool. I love this. Like,
I love that you have that perspective too, because like even me, for example, I get so annoyed that I have to take public transport. Like I get on the bus and I'm like, oh, this is so frustrating. Like, or I get on the tube and there's delays and like it's like it's not like I'm not grateful for the fact that I have a way to get to where I'm trying to go. I'm just annoyed that I can't get there fast enough. And so to have you sit here and be like, it keeps me so grounded. Like it's so exciting to take the bus and just like be part of that experience. It's nice to see that different perspective, and it's a good reminder to just show gratitude for what you actually do have in your life.
oh, 100%. You know, I think that pretty much one of my biggest values is just gratitude. You know, like
Mhm.
I said before, as long as I have a house over my head, food that I have to eat, and clothes to keep me warm, then I'm living a great life. You know, I can't complain. I really shouldn't complain. There's a lot of people with a lot far less. You know,
Yeah,
and even since I've been in
exactly.
Sydney, I don't even have a car, and I was like, I don't need a car because I can just get around on public transport. And that just saves me, especially now with the price of petrol. I don't know how it is over there, but over
Yeah,
here it's so
it's not
expensive. I
great.
was like, I'm lucky I don't have a car. It's like triple the price it was last year. I was like, I
Mhm.
just catch the bus is so much cheaper. I don't have to worry about parking or anything. It gives me like exercise to walk there. It gives me routine. I get to see different people every day, and like obviously I'm not talking to people. I'm just thinking, oh, wonder what this person's thinking. Or I wonder where this person works. Or you know, I like
Yeah.
people watching. So it's like, oh, I wonder. And then I see someone that I saw yesterday. I was like, oh, I wonder if they're gonna say hi today. Or you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's this guy in the morning. I go to the gym every morning at like 6 o'clock, 6:30 before work. This guy I've never even spoke to, but he's like outside this coffee shop that I always walk past to go to the gym. There's an
Mhm.
old guy, and I just wave at him every morning. We just wave at each other. We've never spoken a word to each other, but for
I
the
love
past
that.
few months, we just acknowledge like we see each other every day, just like hi, hey, just like this. But we've never spoken, but we just see each other, you know. And it's just that kind of. It's like this is cool, you know, like.
Yeah, you're building your own little community.
Yeah,
It's cute. I want to challenge you to actually say something to him one day.
yeah, I will. Like I literally, I could go tomorrow and I'll be like, "Hey man, what's your name?" Like my name's Chris. It doesn't bother me. Like
That's
I
so
feel.
cool. Well, thank you so much for being here today and for sharing so much. You've been super vulnerable, and I really appreciate that, and I give thanks for it. Um, and I just want to ask if you could give the listener like one tip or a couple tips, whatever you want, based off of everything we've spoken about today. So like dealing with the loss of parents, having like your world kind of turned upside down with plans changing, and anything that you've been through. What's something that you could share that would help the listener?
I think, I don't know, like I said before, tomorrow's never promised.
Mm-hmm.
So make the most of every day that you can. So any opportunity that arises, I think I heard from a friend that they always say yes to everything. And then after that, like deal with the consequences after, because you never know what kind of opportunity you'll get or the people that you'll meet by saying
Yeah.
no. You know what I mean? Well, not obviously not say yes to like every single thing, but if you say things yes to a lot of things, it just opens up more gates, more opportunities for more things, and stepping outside of that comfort zone and trying to just think that life is just life. Just enjoy the ride, and do whatever
Mm-hmm.
you need to do to be happy, I suppose.
I love that. Okay, I have some ending questions for you. So just literally whatever off the top of your head comes up, just say it. What's one thing you wish you did more of 5 years ago?
5 years ago,
Mm.
now I can't even think when 5 years ago was.
Okay, what about last year? What's one thing you wish you did more of last year?
Did more of
Yeah,
saving.
saving. Saving money.
Yeah,
Who is someone that inspires you right now?
myself.
I love that answer. What is one thing that keeps you aligned and grounded?
Being grateful for the little things. Gratitude.
I love that. And what is one thing you have learned in the past week?
One thing that I've learned,
Something new that you learned within the last week.
um, that oh, I've learned quite a bit actually. Because of, what I mean, there's so much processing on in my head. Um, I learned that the All Blacks, our team, is not invincible like everyone thinks they were.
Ooh.
Rugby team. Yeah, they lost again to South Africa.
Did they?
Yeah, that's their third out of. They've lost 3 out of 4 games this year.
Wow. I feel like that's not
That's
that's not
not
a
normal.
normal occurrence.
Not for
Yeah.
me. So I guess
Interesting.
I'm
Maybe
not.
they just need you on the team.
No, not me. I'll still support them when I lose. But yeah, I guess that's something I learned.
That's so interesting. Do you want to share where anyone can find you, if they're interested in chatting to you after or connecting or anything like that?
Yeah, I guess you can find me on my Instagram page. Um, I think it's. I don't even know the name of my page.
You don't know? Do you want me to look it up? Oh, it's okay. Christian O. I
Cristiano,
don't.
that's right. Cristiano Ives.
Your name is Cristiano?
It's my Portuguese name when I lived
Your
in Portugal.
Portuguese name.
when I
I was
lived
like,
in
how did I
Portugal,
not know this?
when I lived in Portugal.
Fair enough. Okay, I'll link it below for everyone.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So I hope that all of you listening enjoyed this episode and got so much from it. The light in me acknowledges the light in each and every one of you. And I hope that you have the most wonderful day coming from two people just like you.